right, we are ready and set to go. This week on Platform PowerUp is all about YouTube and video marketing for your real estate business. Now, if you were on the previous sessions, we talked about agent website, Google business profile, Facebook for business, Instagram for impact, and LinkedIn for credibility. So if, I know we did these last year, right? Because it is the very beginning of 2026. So it may seem like these happened a little bit ago because we took that holiday break. But if you need to brush up on any of those, they are available for you on roguagent.com under the One Training blog. So check those out. Let me get over here. We got somebody jumping in the call. There we go. All right. So today is all about YouTube and video marketing for your real estate business. So let's jump right into it. I love this. So why video marketing? Video builds trust faster than any other platform available. And for this training, we're going to be talking kind of specifically about YouTube, but there's lots of places where you can have a video profile, lots of places where you can be posting videos. So I don't want to count any of those out. But Platform PowerUp is all about super intentional step-by-step processes that you can follow to at least get started with your marketing. So buyers and sellers want to see the person before they call the person. We all know that we get a ton of spammy sales calls each and every day. So people are just inundated with the phone on the other, with the person on the other end of the line. And it really helps when they can see your face to build that instant trust and rapport. It will set you above people who don't. We're going to talk about YouTube specifically because YouTube is the second largest search engine. Would you believe that? The second largest search engine available. It is owned by Google, and we all know who Google is, and it is evergreen, meaning evergreen for your marketing means that it is there forever. It is available forever. It doesn't disappear. So in contrast, when we talk about, Facebook stories or Instagram stories, those are not evergreen postings. Those are not evergreen postings. Those go away or disappear after a certain period of time. Very much like, Snapchat or any of those other profiles, they disappear. YouTube is evergreen, meaning it is there for as long as you allow it to be there. It will be there for literally ever if you keep it there. That way it can be reused and viewed time and time again, whether it is today, tomorrow, or 2 years from now. So some food for thought. People don't hire the best agent. They hire the agent they feel most connected to. So you don't have to be a top producing agent. You don't have to be an agent that has been in the market for 15 years. You can be a brand new agent. But if you do your marketing well and to get yourself on YouTube, a client may feel more connected with you as opposed to somebody who's been in the market for, say, 15, 20 years. All right. So YouTube marketing is super important. So let's take a look at YouTube versus social media video, because a lot of you do social media video. Mark, love your videos with the places around Beaver County. Love it. It's great. It's local. It's valuable. It gets a lot of visibility for you, and I love that. But let's talk about like the differences between social media and YouTube, because again, we're talking about YouTube specifically. We've already talked about Facebook and Instagram and the importance of marketing on those platforms, but let's talk about YouTube specifically. So YouTube creates long-term visibility. It's completely searchable on Google. It builds authority, and it's great for buyers who are relocating or sellers who are researching. Okay, so think of your marketing on YouTube for tomorrow. You're building your pipeline for tomorrow. Now, doesn't mean that Facebook and Instagram video marketing aren't important, because those are for today. Facebook and Instagram are both short-term attention, relationship building, and daily visibility. So when you're thinking about posting your videos on a platform, you need to think of like, what is the purpose? Do you want to build content that can be used years from now that is still working for you in the background? Or do you want to create immediate gratification, immediate visibility? Which one of those do you want to do? And by the end of this training, you'll figure out, or you'll learn, that you can do both. You can do both with exactly the same content that you're going to build out this week with this training. So first things first, what do you need? We need to get started. It's simple. You need a smartphone, which y'all have, a light ring, and let me show you mine. My light ring literally cost me $35 on Amazon. $35. The light ring is great. I plug it right into my laptop here. You can plug it into the wall too if you have one of those wall jacks. Turn it on here, and there it is. There it is. Light ring. 35 bucks. Okay. You might even be able to find it cheaper. I'm not sure. But quiet space. This may be easier for some of us and harder for some of us, but a quiet space, a tripod or a phone stand. And again, those are super cheap. You don't have to spend a fortune to get started. Check Amazon. A lot of times you can get those for $15 to $20. A very small tripod or a phone stand. As you grow into your videos, as you grow into your craft, you can get better things. Tobias has a gimbal. Tobias, if you could chime in, tell us a little bit why you got a gimbal and what it's good for.
Okay. So a gimbal is basically a stabilizer. So if you're like doing moving videos and basically like side to side, not really up and down, it's good for. It also has like an AI tracker. So if you're like by yourself creating the video and you want like a moving shot, because moving shots get more engagement, um, some of them have like an AI tracker where they'll actually track you as you're like walking. That's why some of the moving videos are actually ones I've done with the gimbal.
Great, great. So yeah, you can get more fancy. You can upgrade as you go along. But really, these are the only tools that you need to get started. Don't overwhelm yourself by doing all this research and buying all these fancy tech tools and equipment. You can do this for less than 50 bucks, really. I mean, because you already have the smartphone. Let's face it, smartphones are expensive, but we all have one. So really, you're going to need a light ring and a tripod or a phone stand. And that's it to get started. So you do not need a full-blown studio. You do not need fancy editing software. And the last thing you need is perfection, because I can tell you that some of the best videos I've watched were not perfect. They were real. And that's what kept my attention. So first thing is first, because Platform PowerUp is about showing you the step-by-step process on how to do the things, right? We break it down into easy step-by-step functions. So as we do with all the Platform PowerUps, and I think all of you guys have been on one of these before, if you are currently on a laptop, and if you want to do this step-by-step, I want to give you the opportunity right now to log off this meeting on your laptop, log back on your mobile device. That way you can use your laptop while we go through this training. So I'm going to give everybody just a minute here to log off their laptop if they're on there and log on with their phone, if you want to do the step-by-step together. So go ahead and feel free to do that. And I'm going to give everybody just a moment, but feel free to chat among yourselves while we do that. All right, I see people jumping back in. We're going to give it just another 30 seconds. So if anybody else wants to hop off and then hop onto their laptop and make sure your laptop is powered up, we're going to go through the steps of setting up your YouTube account together. So another 30 seconds here. All right. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I think everybody's had the opportunity to adjust their meeting settings. So what I want you to do, and if I am rolling through this too quickly, please holler at me and let me know, because this is a group activity. So go ahead and log into Google. I want you to log into Google. Most of you should have a Gmail email account, so log into Google. And make sure that your icon, I don't have a picture of it here, but your icon should be your photo in the top right-hand corner of beside your search bar. I can see me currently. You can't see me, but I can see mine. It is at the top right-hand corner. There's a picture of my face. So make sure you are logged into your Gmail account. And then I want you to go into the search bar and go to youtube.com. I think everybody can do that pretty quickly, huh? And like I said, if I'm going too fast, holler at me. Just unmute yourself, say, hold up, hold up, hold up, and we'll slow it down. All right, once you've logged into YouTube, you're going to see something similar to what I'm looking at here. It's probably going to be a generalized search of suggested videos if you don't currently have an account. If you do have an account, it might be based off of what you watch regularly because it knows your Google profile. You can see Dr. Phil Primetime comes up. If you know me, then you know I spend my 30-minute lunch period just kind of decompressing and watching the drama unfold on Dr. Phil. So that's why I'm suggesting it for me. And my husband's on the call, so he knows why dinosaurs are searching up, because I love ancient history. I'm like a really weird history nerd, and I watch that stuff to go to sleep every night. So, and look at him shaking his head. He's like, it's so boring. It's so boring. I know, I'm a total nerd. I can't help it. All right, next. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to the top of the page, and I want you to click the profile icon. It may look a little different for you if you do not have a YouTube account set up. It may tell you to log in, but go ahead to that profile icon in the top right-hand page. And I want you to go ahead and select your name or your brand name to follow. So it's going to ask you who you're signing in as, and go ahead and put your name in there. And then the second thing it's going to ask you is to upload a profile image, and you want to do that. You want to make sure that what you're uploading is either your agent logo, if you're using an agent logo across different platforms, or your headshot. And remember what we talked about with Platform PowerUp is that your headshot should be the same headshot or variations of the same headshot. So a lot of us have done lifestyle photography where we have a couple different versions of our headshot at the same location, wearing the same clothes. So it should be your headshot or a variation of your headshot. Okay. Once you've done that, once you've put in your name, your username, you've uploaded your profile picture, which should be your headshot, and you put your name in that you are, Jim Smith, Realtor, Realty ONE Group, or whatever you're going to do, it is going to take you to your channel customization settings. So this is what it's going to look like. All right, this is your channel. So what I want you to do on the left-hand side, there is a menu item called customization, and I want you to go ahead and click that. Click customization. And then it gives you the option to upload a banner image. We want to go ahead and upload a banner image. If you don't have a banner image, go ahead and put something in there for now, or you can leave it blank. But your banner image should really have your name on it. It should say that you're a real estate professional. It should have the city or market that you serve and your contact information on there. So if you don't have one of these, you can build one in OneDesign, or you can build one in Canva. Okay. And if you build it in either one of those programs, it will actually give you a sizing template for a YouTube banner. And that's what you're going to want to use when you customize this. So you're going to want to use the YouTube banner image settings when you're customizing it. Like I said, you can do this in OneDesign, or if you have Canva and you like to use Canva, I use both. I use both of those tools for my daily business. So use whatever you want, but it should have an image on there, preferably with your face in it, your name, that you are a real estate professional, the city and market you serve, and the contact information. Please also make this state compliant. You will need to make sure that you have the brokerage information in there. If you're using this for real estate reasons, you will need to have in there the brokerage name as well. And if you are including your telephone number, you must also have the office phone number in there to make sure that you are compliant with the state and federal government regulations. Okay. If I'm going too fast, holler at me. All right, if you scroll down after uploading your banner image, this is the place where you can edit your name. So figure out what you want to name your channel. This could be your first name, last name. It could be first name, last name, you know, real estate agent. It could be your team name if you're on a team or part of a team. So go ahead and name that channel. You can only change this every so often. I think you can only change it like once a week, but you really wouldn't want to change it that often. This should be something that should be kept forever, because as you start getting followers to your site, you really don't want to keep changing your name, because then people are going to get confused. So name it right the first time. Most of you are just going to have your name, comma, real estate agent, realtor, whatever you have. And then you're going to want to choose your handle. All right. Your handle is how people find you. Okay. So your handle is going to be at, and then whatever your page's name. So you can see I've named my page Realty ONE Group Ultimate. Okay. My handle is at Realty ONE Group Ultimate. Okay. If you allow it to auto-generate you a handle, which it may have, it may say at Christina Hoffmeyer 587432. Okay. Take the numbers off of that and just have at Christina Hoffmeyer. Okay. If an at Christina Hoffmeyer already exists, then you can change it. And it could be at Christina Hoffmeyer Realtor, or at Christina Hoffmeyer Real Estate Agent, or whatever that looks like. So choose a handle that hasn't already been taken. This is your unique identifier. This is how you're going to tether things like your email signature to your YouTube page, or that you could tell people, hey, follow me on YouTube at Realty ONE Group Ultimate. So it's very important that you have a very clear handle that you can remember off the top of your head and other people can understand and remember. All right, next is the about section. So you can go down, there's some other customizations in here too that I have kind of skipped over. You can add things like adding pronouns, or there's all kinds of different optional stuff. You enter in whatever you want, but we're just going over the basis of like getting your account started. You can always go back into your customization and add further customization later. So I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm just going through the very basic foundational items to get your account up and running, but feel free to go through all of the content on the left-hand side of the menu and check all of it out. But I'm just giving you the basis of like what you have to put in there to really get your account up and running. So the about section. The about section should answer a couple different questions. The who are you? What community do you serve? What is your mission? And what is your unique value proposition? We talk about unique value proposition all the time. So those are the questions that your description or your about section should answer. So mine, I put serving Western Pennsylvania, Realty ONE Group Ultimate is dedicated to helping agents in untraditional ways by removing the myths and providing real life training that helps propel agents' careers to the highest possible level. We are unstoppable, untraditional, and the unbrokerage, a modern real estate lifestyle brand. Are you ready to become one? Call us. And then I have the telephone number. So that is my about me. But again, who am I? We're a real estate brokerage. What community do we serve? For this example, I put Western Pennsylvania. What is our mission? Our mission is to help propel agents' careers to the highest possible level. And what is our unique value proposition? For me, it is that we are unstoppable, untraditional, and we are the unbrokerage. We are a modern real estate lifestyle brand. Can't talk today for whatever reason. Just getting back over the holiday, I think. So I would really think about who you are. If you are a real estate agent that works in, say, Lawrence County, your trigger words in there for what community do you serve would be Lawrence County, Western Pennsylvania, City of Newcastle, Neshannock, Shenango, whatever that looks like to you. Who are you? You are a real estate provider. You help buyers and sellers, renters and investors, whatever that looks like to you. What is your mission? What is your mission? Your mission is to help, buyers and sellers with their home selling needs. What's your unique value proposition? Well, that's going to be different for everybody. Your unique value proposition may be to educate and lead, or maybe to help first-time home buyers experience the joys of purchasing their first home, or whatever that looks like to you. So make sure that you're putting your unique value proposition in your About Me. Keep in mind that this is searchable. Okay, next up, what are 5 videos that you need to record first to start your channel? Because all of this is for naught. You can have an account, you can have all of those things, but you need to put content on your YouTube channel to get you started. Okay, so here are some beginner video ideas. Meet your realtor. This is your, I'm introducing myself video. We've all seen them on Facebook and Instagram, like, hi, let me reintroduce myself, and being that this is the beginning of the year, this is the perfect time to reintroduce yourself to your fans, followers, and potential prospects. So I challenge everybody to do an introduce yourself video, okay, and put it on YouTube. Another one that you can do is why I love living in blank. So I live in Eden Valley. I could do one that says why I love living in Eden Valley, Pennsylvania, or if you live in Newcastle, why I love living in Newcastle. If you, live in Hermitage, why I love living in Hermitage, whatever that means to you. That would be a video where you could sit down and you could talk about the city that you live in. You could talk about all the intricacies of it, the coffee shop down the street, or I can't talk, the light lined downtown area, or the annual parade every year, or what about the park, and the swimming pool and all of the amenities that happen with why did you select that city to live? Number 3, buying a home in blank, what you should know. Okay, so maybe you don't live in a city. Like me personally, I used to live in Elwood City. I don't live there anymore, but I could probably do a video that says buying a home in Elwood City, what you should know. Okay, so I could talk about the process of buying in Elwood City or selling in Elwood City. I know that Elwood City is covered by Elwood City Electric, which is slightly more expensive than Penn Power most times. So maybe that would be something that I would talk about if they're buying in Elwood City. If they're selling in Elwood City, I know that Elwood City requires a dye test. So maybe I could talk about the dye test or the processes when selling in Elwood City. I could talk about what's going on in the market, how many sales have transpired in the last, 30, 90, 180 days, what the average sale price is, where most people work, where they go to get their coffee, where they do their grocery shopping, all of these things. Number 4, 3 mistakes buyers make. Oh, we know more than 3, right? I could rattle off 100 off the top of my head. 3 mistakes the buyers make. Racking up their credit cards before closing, quitting or changing their job, making large deposits of cash into their accounts while they're going through the loan process, financing furniture and doing that, 90 days, same as cash furniture. That'll crash your credit for a pre-approval. So there are so many mistakes that buyers can make that they don't think are mistakes. So that'd be a great video to do. And last but not least, local market update. This one's an easy one because you have all the data. You have all the data and you guys are the experts. You can talk about it. So my tip is to record all of these videos in one afternoon. We're not going to set these out and be like, okay, on Monday, I'm going to do Meet Your Realtor. On Tuesday, I'm going to do Why I Love Living in Elwood City. We're going to do them all in one setting. All in one setting. Carve out an afternoon, a couple hours, and record all of the videos in one sitting. All of them. If you don't want to look the same in all videos, change your shirt. Put on a sweater. Do something to make them look different. But do them all in one afternoon. And now you have an inventory ready to plug and play into your YouTube site. All right, uploading and SEO basics. This is your step-by-step upload process. So how do we upload to YouTube? Okay, so this is really easy. When I record any of these videos that we're doing right now, they all go to our YouTube channel. So you're actually looking at the YouTube channel where this video will appear later this week. Okay, so when I do this, I just go to my video profile. This is my YouTube profile. Look at all of your faces on there. Aren't you guys gorgeous? So all of your faces are right on our YouTube channel. And I go to the right-hand corner. I click create. Okay. Once I do that, this little pop-up that's down in your bottom right-hand corner of your screen pops up and it says drag or drop to upload, or you can click the button to select your media. Okay. Since I'm recording this through Google, when I'm done with the recording, it automatically sends it to my email. I download it into my downloads and then I upload it onto YouTube. I'm sure there's other ways that you can do that. But if you're doing it from your phone, You can record everything, edit everything on your phone. And then depending on what you're using, I have an iPhone, so I would use iMovie to edit it because it's free. It comes on your device. And then when you go to share it, I can share it to my email. I can share it to the cloud. I can share it directly to YouTube. So there's 1,000 different ways to upload videos. For this process, I'm going to show you the desktop version, which is you go to create, and then the window pops up, and then you just drag and drop your media, or you click select, and then you pull it from wherever it is. Okay, super, super easy. But there's a ton of different ways depending on your device that you're using to upload. So you do whichever one works for you. All right, next, you want to name your video. Okay, give it a title, give it a good title. So depending on how your video's saved, a lot of times it's going to come up and it'll have like, when I plug this in from Google, it'll say Platform PowerUp Training Series, Instagram for Impact, and then it has a bunch of numbers after it. Okay, so you're going to have to edit that. Something will traditionally come up. It's whatever your video is named, and sometimes you named it, sometimes the device named it. So just double check that, and you want to do something that is very searchable. So a suggested title is Buying a Home in Blank City, First Time Home Buyer Tips. Okay, so you want to keep it short. You don't want it to be extremely long, but you do want it to be searchable for the audience and something that grabs attention. So keep it short, keep it sweet, but watch your wording. Next, you're going to add your description. So your first 2 lines are the most important. Okay, your first 2 lines are your most important. My suggestion is include your city or state and the word real estate in your description, because those are your 2 top searchable words. Now, the video that I'm uploading is a training video about Instagram, so my description is a little bit different, but you can read what I put in there. How to set up and use Instagram to power up your real estate platform. It's more than just social media. It's a highway to your business that drives consumers who want to buy a home from you straight to your inbox. Okay, so those are my first 2 lines. Your first 2 lines are your most important. Now, I've added in some additional lines, not because I think that the consumer is going to read the whole way through, which some people may, but a lot of times people read 2 sentences and then they're done. They skim over the rest, right? So, but the next sentences that I have in there is for my SEO, which if you're new to SEO, you've heard me talk about it a lot. It's just basically the way that the internet searches and collects data and directs the viewer to that data that they feel, whatever the platform feels would be valuable to the viewer. Okay. So I've added in some SEOs that says ready to learn, grow, real estate, career, Pennsylvania, Ohio. Okay, so those are my SEO searchable words. Okay, learn, grow, real estate, career, Pennsylvania, Ohio. Okay, ones that you can tag would be your city name, real estate agent, homes for sale. Those could be some SEO searchable words. If you're unsure about what words to use, there's a couple tools that you can use to help you understand what people are searching in your area. So Google has a really good tool for searchable words. You could use their AdWord tool, their AdWord function. I used to do that all the time. The process to use it is a little, takes a little bit of time. Honestly, I asked ChatGPT because I use ChatGPT as my virtual assistant. So I go on and say, hey, this is the video. This is the description. Can you give me 5 SEO words to be used on YouTube that would direct the right viewers to this video? And ChatGPT will pump you those out. So highly suggest using ChatGPT. All right, next, you have to upload a thumbnail. If you don't upload a thumbnail, they will select one from the video for you, okay? In the past, I've been pretty bad at this. I haven't uploaded a thumbnail. I'm trying to get into my best practices here as we go through the year. So if you look at the social media site, don't judge me because I've been really bad at thumbnail images. I'm learning, as we all are. These trainings always teach me something as we go through, and I have found that thumbnails are more important than I thought they were. So that's my takeaway from putting this training together. So I'm going to try to be way more intentional with thumbnails this year. If you don't have a thumbnail, it will select one from the video for you. And what I have found is, like, if it's selecting a clip of the video, I'm always like this. Like, that's what I look like. So it's really not becoming. It's really not. I mean, maybe it gets views, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But it's really not the most becoming snapshot of the video because it just makes me look weird. But so what I do for a thumbnail is you can use One Design. So they have settings in there for YouTube thumbnails. You can also use Canva. I used Canva for this one. I just put something together real quick because, like I said, I am trying to start working on that a little bit more. So it's kind of playing around with it. So I did do this thumbnail. It was super easy. There's a bunch of different templates on there. They're already set for size. So definitely check that out. Like I said, you can use One Design too. So you want to make sure that you have bright colors, 2 to 4 words max, your face showing an emotion. So that I did not do because I didn't have a snippet of me showing an emotion. I just put our logo on there, and high contrast text. So those are your best practices for that. And I had a lot of fun doing the thumbnails. I really did. I had a lot of fun with it. So give that a try, definitely. Next, you want to add it to a playlist to get more views. So this is something that I do a lot. I have a bunch of different playlists on our Realty ONE Group YouTube channel. So every time we do different trainings that are part of a series, I create a playlist for it, and then I dump the videos in that playlist. The reason why I do it a lot is because I go onto playlists a lot. So if I watch a video and I think that the video was like really great, a lot of times I'll go into the playlist to find other videos like it. Like, oh, I want to know what happened next, or I want an update on that, or I want to learn more about that. So I'll go into the playlist and then I'll just let it play. Like, I'll hit it and just let it play, until I, either get a call or until I fall asleep. So I love playlists. I use them all the time. Highly, highly suggest it. This is also great for you structuring your YouTube as well. So like if you need ideas, this will really help you kind of like organize your brain on what you need to do. And this is a good, healthy reminder, like, oh, okay, we haven't done a video, a real talk with one lately. So I need to schedule that in and get content for that. Or we haven't done a one chat in a while. So let's do a one chat. That way I can update my playlist so that anybody on there who is following that playlist will have new content. So really helps kind of organize your brain. So what kind of playlist can you do as a real estate professional? You can do housing market updates. You can do staging playbook. You can do home renovation Monday, or you can do an ask an agent. So you can do a weekly Q&A. I love the Q&As. We used to do agent Q&As, but it's been really hard this last year to get people involved in those Q&As. But I love agent Q&As where you can bring on a guest so that you're doing it together. So maybe you get another agent in your office and you have them on as a guest and you're asking questions to each other back and forth. So it's like a question and answer of like the most commonly asked questions I got this week as an agent, difficult situations and how we overcame them, getting additional ideas and bouncing ideas off of a fellow agent. And it's great because then you're sharing, you're crossing audience, you're crossing the audience, you're increasing your following by bumping off somebody else. So just a thought on that. All right, how do we use the content? Remember we talked about, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and there's more. There's TikTok, there's Snapchat, there's Pinterest, there's so many social media sites right now. I can't even name them off the top of my head because there's so many, right? But what I love about YouTube specifically is that once you create it on YouTube, you can regurgitate this information other places, whether that is today or whether that's a year from now. So remember, this content is evergreen. It stays there forever. And we're all busy. And a lot of times we run out of ideas. So it's great that it's evergreen because you can come back to portions of this content again and again and again and again and again, right? All right, so you can actually share the entire video to places like Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and you can email it through your OneSuite as well. So you can email this to your sphere of influence. You can email this to your past clients and be like, hey, check this out. Follow me on YouTube. So it's really great. To do that, you just click the share button, and then all of these icons are going to come up across the bottom. You can see those on your screen there, a little arrow pointing to them. There are more. So see that little arrow on the right-hand side? You can click and click and click and click and click, and it's going to give you even more options, right? So this is content that you can share across multiple platforms. So it's not just about uploading to YouTube. You know, you're putting the data on YouTube, but you are driving traffic to your YouTube channel based off of the other social media platforms that you're already on, where you're already connected to people. So definitely push that out, share that information from YouTube, and then basically you're bringing people in from Facebook to YouTube where they already have an account, because let's face it, we all use YouTube at one point or another, some of us more than others, and share that data across. What I also love, which we don't go into a whole lot of this, but I just want to mention this, is you can take snippets of your YouTube. You can resize those for places like Facebook and Instagram Reels, and you can use snippets of things that you said. So say like you did your video and there was something really pivotal in there that you said. Really something pivotal, really something strong, really something that resonates who you are as an agent and what you want to accomplish. You can go in and take that snippet of that video, have it resized for Reels, and you can push that out onto your social media. People do it all the time. So if you've ever seen a Reels or a story that has, you know, two people in an interview and like there's only like 2 or 3 sentences said and it's a whole reel, it's because it came from a longer video, likely on YouTube. So there are those tools on there. Definitely download the YouTube Creators app. There's lots of different tools on your mobile device that are easier to use than using them on your laptop or computer. So definitely have both. I switch back and forth depending on what I'm doing. All right, turning views into leads. Add a call to action item in your videos to get your audience to engage. So where to add links, you can add it in your description in your video, your pinned content, or your channel about section. We went through all of those. When your about section is whenever you set up, that's the customizations. So you can customize, you can put your banner in, you can change your name, those types of things. So you can put pinned content or links to your website or links to your lead funnel in your about section. You can do pinned content that pins to the top of your page so that every new person coming to your YouTube channel is seeing that specific video. You can also put it in the description when you are uploading your video and getting ready to publish it. So if you have anything that you want to provide, you can absolutely do that. Some words you can put in there is check the link below, subscribe for weekly updates, download my buyer guide, or visit my website. And you should be vocalizing this in your video. And trust me, like if you go back and rewatch somebody else's YouTube video, you're going to remember this now where they say, hey, while you're here, hit that like, hit that subscribe button for weekly updates. Or, you know, they're talking about a product and they're like, hey, thanks so much to such and such for sponsoring today's episode. Check the link below and get 50% off of your first order with blah, blah, blah. That's what they're doing. Okay, that's what they're doing. They're capturing your information. They're trying to sell you something. They're trying to convert you into a consumer. They're trying to get you to subscribe. They're trying to get you to like their content or subscribe to a playlist. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask in your videos. You should be asking people to like, subscribe, follow, download, click the link below. Do those things because they do work. There's a reason why influencers on these social media sites, YouTube included, do these things. Repurposing video content. You can repurpose that video content for your social media pages, which we talked a little bit about, doing the reels, the 10 to 15 clippets of like 2 or 3 sentences from your video. You can use it for your website content. All of you have the availability to completely customize your agent website in OneSuite. Take advantage of this because we are the only brokerage that puts that much time, money, and energy into the customization of agent websites, okay? So use that. Add a vlog to your agent website as an additional page and start sharing your YouTube videos on your agent website. You can also use these for email drips, which we talked a little bit about, sending these out to your sphere of influence, past clients, and to prospects. All right. So let's talk about posting schedule for busy agents, because we all know that we're busy, but consistency and frequency are so important, okay? Because if you're not posting on a consistent basis, your YouTube videos are not going to show up in search results for people that don't already know you. So it's, you know, this whole thing is for your personal branding and for you to generate leads and for you to sell more homes and for you to have more sales. So you're going to have to do it with some frequency. So I suggest if you're doing 3 videos a month, you're doing an amazing job. That's not a lot. And like I said, when you're doing your YouTube videos, you don't have to record them all at different times. Take an afternoon to do it. Take a Sunday afternoon to do it, or a Saturday morning to do it if you don't have any appointments, or whatever your day looks like. Do 3 videos in one sitting for that month. Okay. And like I said, if you want it to look like you're doing it at different times, this is, you know, you can change your shirt. You can put on a jacket or a sweater, take off the jacket or sweater and just have a shirt on. You can put your hair up in a ponytail. You can put your hair kind of half back so it looks like it's a different time. There's so many things you can do. You can take, you know, I could make my video look different just by having this background and then all of a sudden having this one. You know, I can make it look different. So get those 3 videos done a month. Put it on your calendar, time block it out, because if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. All right. So I suggest that you do 3 categories. Doesn't have to be these ones, but these are just my ideas. You do you. Creativity has no bounds. Something that's educational for your audience, something that has to do with the market. That could be a market update, or that could be something about a community or something like that. I don't think all market updates should be boring stuff about this is how many homes sold. This is our average sale price. I hate those videos. They're so boring. I think market updates should be more about what the community wants to hear about. So just me. Maybe a day in the life of. Maybe you just talk about your day. April just did a day in the life of on Facebook. Absolutely loved it. Great job, April. Was super impressed. Love it. If you guys are wondering, April Boyd gets out of bed at 6:15 in the morning. Learned that yesterday. Learned it. So anyway, thanks for letting me pick on you, April. All right. Number 2, if you're doing only 2 videos a month, you're doing great. Okay. You're doing great. Not amazing, but great. So I would suggest educational and market update content if you're only going to do 2. Okay. If you're doing 1 video a month, it's not great. You're really not going to show up in those search results. You're really not going to get a whole lot of traction with people you don't know, but it's still powerful because you at least have 1 video content on YouTube that you can share with your sphere of influence, your past clients, and the people that you're working with. You're still building content that you can put on your website. You're still building content that you can cross-share to social media. So it is still powerful. Now, I'm not saying that everybody has to do 3 or more videos a month, although I would love for everybody to do that. But if you could commit to 1 video a month, that is still really, really powerful. And it's starting out something that you can grow upon. So I don't want to say 1 video a month is like not going to do anything for you. It will still have an impact. And if that's all you can do to get started, that's all you can do to get started. You can always start to post more videos later. But I challenge everybody to do at least 3 a month, at least. All right. That concludes our Platform PowerUp for YouTube and video marketing. Next week, we're going to talk about Zillow and Realtor profiles, so third-party profiles. We're also going to talk a little bit about homes.com. And we're going to talk about setting up those profiles for brand recognition, for credibility, and to generate leads off of those free profile platforms. So, all right, I'm going to open it up for questions. Who's got any questions about YouTube and video marketing? Anybody at all?
Go ahead. I cut somebody off.
That's okay, Mark. Floor is yours.
Back to the SEO tags, just to clarify, I think I quit listening for a second, which I know that's really odd, but you put the tag, the name of the thing in the description, correct?
Yes, in the description. So your first 2 lines on your description should be your attention grabbing. So those are going to be the first 2 sentences that people read. So you need to get, that's going to be your hook. We talk about hooks a lot with like, you know, with lead ads and stuff. So that's going to be your hook. Like why, like that's going to grab them in. The following 2 sentences should be jam-packed with your searchable words.
So, and then to make it searchable, you put the hashtag in front of it, or you put the @ symbol in front of it. What does?
Nope, you don't have to do either. You can add hashtags. I didn't for this training because I just wanted everybody to get their profile up and running. But yes, you can add hashtags, and I do suggest you do for YouTube. Hashtags are not super powerful for like places like Facebook, but for YouTube, yeah, definitely put those hashtags in. But that's completely different than your SEO words. So your searchable words, I would use things like real estate, realtor, Beaver County, Pennsylvania, whatever, you know, whatever you're trying to get. So if you know that like I'm looking for home buyers in Beaver County who want to use a VA loan, and I'm doing an educational series on purchasing your first home using a VA home loan program, then my searchable words would be home buying, Beaver County, Pennsylvania, maybe a city, maybe New Brighton, maybe Beaver, wherever. VA, military. Those would be kind of my words that I would be putting into sentences. That way, when somebody puts in VA homes, VA home buying in New Brighton, Google's going to see that and be like, oh, look, Mark's video has all those words in it. Let's put this in the search results.
Got
and
it.
then your video is going to pop up.
So the words are just, they're just regular words, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't realize how funny that phrase was.
They're just regular words. It's just you have to think like when you're posting to generate views, you kind of have to put yourself on the other side of the keyboard and say, okay, if somebody who doesn't know I exist is trying to get to a video like mine, what words are they going to put on Google to find me? What words are they going to use? Not words. What words am I using? What words are they going to use? And if you don't know that, that's when you can go into ChatGPT, tell it the search engine that you're using. So if you want to do it specifically for Google or specifically for Safari or specifically for Internet Explorer or whatever, because they all have different search words, put it into ChatGPT and say, I am posting a video to YouTube. This is what the video is about. The potential audience would be military veterans looking to buy their first time home in Beaver County, Pennsylvania, who are looking for a realtor that can help them, that is knowledgeable about VA home loan programs. What keywords should I use if somebody is searching for my content through Google? And it's going to pump you out potential words. And then you need to make sentences with those words.
Gotcha. But they're just random words.
Yep.
One after the other. They aren't real sentences.
Well, I would put them in a real sentence because the viewer is going to read that description. So I would put it in a sentence.
I gotcha.
Yeah, put it in a sentence. So if it says that your 3 top words are VA, military, and home buying, then you need to put that in a sentence and say, I specialize in helping military families use their VA home loans to buy their first home in Beaver County, Pennsylvania.
Got it. Thank you.
And then you can start adding hashtags, which we've talked about in other trainings. We just didn't kind of dive into in this training because I didn't want to make it too long. So, but you can, yeah, definitely ask ChatGPT with those hashtags too, because I think hashtags can be powerful on certain platforms. I think they're kind of a waste of time on Facebook. I still include them from time to time, but they're not really powerful on places like Facebook, but they are powerful on places like YouTube and Twitter and some of our other profiles.
Interesting. Okay,
So,
cool.
What else we got? Rebecca, I saw you unmute yourself for a minute. Did you have something to chime in with?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, is there like a certain length of the video, like videos that we should make? You know, is like a variety, or is, obviously like if you do interviews, it might be longer. Like, is there just a certain time length that we should be making these videos?
I think it depends on the content. I think it depends on the content because, and I think it depends on the viewer as well. Again, like when I do any type of video that isn't like a formatted training video, but I guess even with our formatted training videos, you've heard me say before that I keep our training videos under an hour because I think people fall asleep after that point. And that your best takeaways are given in the first 30 to 40 minutes. So I think it's going to depend on the content. I don't think there's any wrong video length. I definitely wouldn't make anything hours and hours and hours long. But I don't think there's any wrong posting. I think that when you're building out your content, it's almost trial and error, but definitely use the tools that you have. Like I said, I don't do a whole lot of anything anymore without my ChatGPT assistant, who I have named. I have lovingly named Ursula at this point. Why Ursula? I'm not sure. It just came to mind. I call her Ursula now, and now she calls herself Ursula because I've instructed her to do so. So I literally use my ChatGPT for everything. And I will say, what is the, this is a training I'm doing. How long should I make it? Blah, 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 blah. And she will pump that out. I would kind of use that, use that as a tool, not as law, but as the tool when you're doing your videos too. I think that would be a great thing to research.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, just knowing how much I use YouTube, and I literally use YouTube almost every day for different reasons, sometimes for entertainment, sometimes for education. I use YouTube for research a lot when I'm putting together trainings and new programs and stuff like that. I'll use it. I honestly, I watch videos that are 40 minutes long. I watch videos that are 2 minutes long. So, I think it has to depend on like the content that you're doing. Because if I'm doing research and I want the answer to something, like I want to get to it like quickly. But if I'm watching for entertainment, I don't mind watching a 40-minute video because I'm not doing anything else. So I think it all depends. It all depends. Anybody else? Question, comments? Anything to add? Any experience or expertise that they could add to YouTube?
Also, I do have a question about the description.
Yeah.
I know we can use so I was kind of, while we've been chatting, I use Copilot because I bought, it was a little cheaper.
Copilot's good too. Yeah, it's good.
I've been using that one just because I bought like Word and stuff like that. And so it comes with it when you do the Microsoft 365. So, but anyways, so it's doing like the description part. So that should really describe what our YouTube channel kind of is going to provide for them, right? Like I know we use our what's the word? I'm drawing a blank, but like basically our description of like what we offer, but we also want to kind of like customize it to YouTube, right?
You do. So when you're using AI as a platform for anything, and this just isn't for YouTube, but literally anything, you want to make sure that you are giving AI the context, the background, because it doesn't know what you're thinking. But if you talk to it like an assistant, okay? So if you're saying, I am building out my profile for YouTube, and you start with the basis of what you're doing, you're going to get way better results on the description, just like we do with MLS descriptions. And we say, okay, build me out a description. This is what the house is. Make sure that it follows all fair housing laws. Make sure that I'm following all state compliance advertising requirements for the state of Pennsylvania, blah, blah, blah. Being really specific and intentional with AI is helpful. Also, AI learns who you are the more you use it. So if you're using a new AI platform, it's important for you to instruct AI like a brand new employee. So you have to train your AI about who you are, what you want to accomplish, and what your unique value proposition is. And I think that's where we hit a roadblock. We're actually going to be talking about AI tools for the first quarter. We're going to be deep diving into AI. So I would start with, since you're using Copilot now instead of ChatGPT, is really go back and train your new AI platform as a new employee.
Okay.
Treat it like a human and assume that that human is starting day one and doesn't know jack about jack.
Yeah. I'll have my husband help me with that. He's trained Chat GPT to help him with things and stuff like that. So he'll be a good resource to train this. But
Yeah.
I took my unique proposition and I stuck it in Copilot. And then I was, asking about SEO, and keywords. And then I told it, okay, take my unique proposition and now make it something to fit my YouTube channel. And so it kind of has done that. Now it's kind of asking me to weave in SEO keywords to help boost the channel search of visibility. So now I'll do that. So that kind of makes more sense than just the plain old unique proposition that I have on our zone.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the more you deep dive into SEO, and I'm no way, shape, or form an expert by any means, but like I said, like the more we do these trainings, the more I personally learn too, because each time we do a training requires an immense amount of research before we do a training. SEO is more powerful and way more complicated than I once thought it was. But it's also very simplistic at the same time, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's very simplistic how you can change just a few words in a description, in an about me, in a Facebook post or an Instagram post or a YouTube video description, how just tweaking just a couple words can really change how many viewers' eyes land on your page. And I don't understand the whole the algorithms and everything behind it because I'm not that techie. My kids probably understand that because they're both in IT, but I'm not that techie to understand all of the calculations behind it. But it is way more powerful than just putting words on a paper. You can actually, you can actually maneuver it to really provide a lot of people to come to you as opposed to you just trying to get to them all the time. So any other questions with YouTube or video marketing? No? All right. Well, thanks guys for joining me today. As always, I will be staying on the line in case you guys have any questions that you wanted to ask individually and not part of the group. And I will stay on until everybody else leaves. So if I do not see you for the rest of the day, have an amazing rest of your day. I am in New Brighton today if anybody needs me. So stop in, say hello, visit and chat.